it's certainly nice to have another opportunity to play at home this weekend, and I'm sure the players are excited about that, and we're familiar with some of the opponents. We scrimmaged Pitt the last few springs, so we're familiar with them and know that they beat two of the teams that we lost to this year, and we've played Dayton the last 2 years in the NCAA tournament, and we've played Long Island in the past. So we're looking forward to the weekend and hope that we can play the game at the highest level. I'm responsible for the preseason schedule. The Big Ten's responsible for the conference schedule, and the NCAA puts together the NCAA tournament. So I thought the preseason schedule gave us a glimpse of some of the good things and challenges that we had, and the Big Ten season was incredibly challenging this year with 3 teams that were taking turns being ranked #1 in the country. So it was a grind for all of the teams, and even the teams towards the top. I mean, we finished 4th, and a lot of people are terribly disappointed, and we had to battle. We had to battle to finish 4th. I think I think the players know that they can play at a high level, and a lot of the success rests in how they're mentally prepared and rested, and how they handle the challenges that other teams have. Every team's different, and you get into the NCAA tournament, anything can happen. Dayton's won 97% of their matches this year. It's the highest winning percentage in the country. It's the same thing as last year. Winning breeds winning, and it's it's a challenge for whatever team you end up playing. Some teams are thrilled to get into the tournament. Some teams look at the brackets and look forward, and I don't do any of that. I don't worry about any of the things I don't control. We play Long Island on Friday. I'll watch the first match. I'll take notes on the first match, and if we win our match, then I'll spend available time getting ready for the second match.
This week is going to be huge for us to prepare. We've got to buckle down and just prepare for the first match. Mentally, we have to be like, hey, it's tournament time. It's now or never. It's do or die kind of sort of thing. We said that the other day in practice. We want to make it all the way to the end. We got to prepare for that. We got to win game by game. So practice, we got to really grind.
Yeah, kind of what Tori is saying. I mean, we need to prepare like we're still in Big Ten season. I mean, we played Dayton before, or I'm sorry, not Dayton. We've played LIU, Brooklyn before, and they're coming here. We need to prepare just like we're in conference. We need to watch video. We need to get in the gym, get extra reps. We need to practice against players that are going to be like them. I mean, we know what we have to do, and we just need to make sure that we're not focusing on games and matches ahead of ourselves. We need to focus on LIU first, and like Coach said, if we win that Friday, we're going to focus on the game on Saturday.
I think we've made progress in a lot of areas, and I wouldn't say we're finely tuned machine in any area. I think we've had some stretches where the offense has looked really smooth, and we've had some times where I thought our blocking and defense seemed to be synchronized pretty well. But again, it's a long season. It's a long season. The Big Ten portion is challenging, and we were fortunate that at least the last 2 weeks we were at home, so the players could get a little better rested than had we been on the road for the last 2 weeks. And the emotion of the tournament is what makes it so exciting. You've got 64 teams in the tournament. You don't have to play all 63 of them. You might play an opponent and you might say, hey, we could have beaten them 9 out of 10 times, but the one time you lost to them, that's the one that counts. So I don't, I spend time looking. I spent today looking at Long Island's, a team, and they have a good collection of young players with a couple of international players, and you know, I know that you know, we'll have to address both the nerves of what we're doing and the excitement of the opponent, and you know, everybody's different. You know, Tori's a freshman, so we can say she played really well a week ago, and it has no bearing on how she plays in her first NCAA match. But you're happy that you're at least doing it at home, where there's more of a likelihood where there'll be some familiar faces in the crowd, and there won't be people hounding her and you know, getting on her. You know, there's never guarantees. There'll be upsets the first weekend, and part of the upside of playing in the great conferences might very well be that the players are mentally tough because they've had to battle. But there's also something to be said for the position that Dayton's in, where they've won 96.9% of their matches. That's a nice feeling as well. So, you know, the last two matches they've lost in the last year. They lost one match this year, and then they lost to us last year. So, you know, their motivation might be different than our motivation. Long Island, you know, they had 2 5-game matches last weekend to advance to the NCAA championships. Pitt's had a really strong year, so that's this group. But for all of the other 15 first-round locations, there's great stories of great teams and great players and coaches that have done a great job with their players. So, you know, I know a little bit more about what's happening here, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the Big Ten teams have success, because I think the conference was really strong this year. You know, we played Illinois last week, and you know, 2 teams that were ranked behind them in the conference were selected, and Illinois wasn't selected. And Illinois, in my opinion, would be a team that could get hot and could make it to a regional championship. Their talent and coaching and system is really fortunate. But you know, the downside of the great conferences is they can wear you down, and you have a hard time getting your kids back sometimes when they get beat up.
Kind of alluded to your teams of 7, 8 years ago. How hard is it for the program to be compared to what you had then, and trying to chase or recapture what you had then?
Well, I mean, it's tough for the people that were big fans then, that they think, my God, you guys have just fallen on incredibly hard times. And it's like, well, you know, back then we beat everybody. This year we did beat Minnesota when they were the #1 team in the country. And we had Nebraska on the ropes when they were the #1 team in the country. But there's a lot of really good teams. So, you know, I talk to our players about the tradition of working hard. I don't talk to them about saying you guys can't achieve what they achieved. This is their team. They have a chance. It's the 2016 Penn State volleyball team. They're in the team photo, and they'll always remember this group. And you know, the last chapter will be written over the next 1 to 3 weeks. So, you know, I think we've won national championships on years where we maybe shouldn't have, and we didn't win it on some years where I thought maybe we should have.
For Simone, having that experience of playing in 2 past tournaments and having the culmination of getting to that national championship and then kind of going out a little sooner than you expected last year, what can you kind of draw on from both of those years?
Yeah, obviously, like Coach said, like it's a grind. It's hard. It's tough. Like there's gonna be upsets. There's gonna be knockouts. There's gonna be teams that you're not expecting to make it way farther than you thought. And it's just all about keeping a positive attitude, maintaining mental focus. No matter like who you have to play, no matter who's across the net, you have to know that you're focused on your side of the net. You're focused on your team. You're focused on what you can do to make the team better at all times. You know, it's not. We prepare a lot during practice. We prepare a lot in video, and you make sure that we understand what the opponent is gonna do, and we try to know what they're gonna do before they even do it. And like not only that, but us being together as a team and us knowing that each person like brings something to the table, and knowing that each person is gonna bring their best, especially because it's tournament time now. So I think that, yeah, especially coming from won a national championship my freshman year, and then sophomore year not quite making it as far as we wanted to. I think that it's all about knowing who we're playing for, because we're doing it for each other. You know, we're playing as a team, as one unit, and we're doing it solely because we know that this is everyone's same goal. We all want to achieve the same thing, and if we do it together, we can obviously achieve great things.